This is Bobby C. in New Rochelle, New York. Load them up. The MAC tournament champion Iona Gales are going dancing.
Oh my goodness, it's amazing. I mean, we're playing against Duke. Like, we can't write the story better than this. We don't won the conference 3 times in a row, so now we're playing against a powerhouse like Duke. It's time to make some noise.
What do you feel makes Iona a team to beat in the NCAA tournament?
I feel like we're a team that knocks down a lot of threes, runs in transition. We never stop running. We got great coaches here.
Do you think Duke has any weaknesses that you can see from watching them on tape?
I seen them. They turn up when they turn the ball over. Then that's when they start losing. I mean, the last time I seen them play. So we're gonna try and get them to turn the ball over and try and get a win.
Coach Cruz is, a wizard with this offense stuff. He gets his guys to the tournament, multiple times, and I don't know. I think it's special, playing for him, being up under him, and then for the new guys, I think they got a sense of how good he really is as a coach, and now they're dancing also, and I know that's exciting for them.
It's really great that they're buying into our program and everything we do, and I can't sing them enough praises. Them getting to this level for the way the year went and for all the new pieces we had, I'm really, really proud of them.
Ready to go, we're ready to go. Pittsburgh, here we come.
The Gales and the LIU Brooklyn Birds are the toast of the town locally. The two programs put together memorable runs this year into the men's NCAA tournament. No conference in the country can brag more than the ACC, though. That was what Selection Sunday revealed. Led by #1 overall seed Virginia and #2 seeds Duke and North Carolina, the ACC placed 9 teams in the tournament, matching the record it set last season. Closer to home, the Big East got 6 teams in, but leads the way with 2 #1s, Villanova and Xavier. The ACC took over Brooklyn last Friday night. Virginia's suffocating defense posted a 64-58 victory over #4 Clemson to advance in one of the 2 semifinals. Here's more.
Well, we worked really hard. We laid on the floor, offensively and defensively, so on both ends, and so I guess that's the reason why some teams are more offensive than defensive. Obviously we're a defensive team, but we take pride of our defense, of course, but we make sure we can get something out of it, something out of our offense too.
I think Thomas made a lot of tough shots. We threw the trap item sometimes, we didn't sometimes, and they're good players. And those type of things. And the guards did a really good job being out shooters tonight, so it worked out that way.
Yeah, we don't worry too much about how other teams play. We just worry about how we do. And before every game, we say put our backpack on and rebound. So that means get back so they can't get in transition. That's pretty much any team we're going to play. Be in our pack line, which is what we do, and then rebound. So.
Coming down the stretch, my teammates and my coach, they have a lot of belief in me to make plays down the stretch. So it's not the first time, this season it's happened. So when the court spread and it's just me and my defender, I love that.
I don't think we're the team to beat. I just think we play hard every game and we play it by possession. The game's not done and you start every game fresh. So that's just the mentality we go with, and it's been pretty successful so far.
In the nightcap, #6 UNC got the better of Duke 74-69. We go back inside the locker room for reactions from the best rivalry in college hoops.
It was just us going out there just playing our game, and we were hitting shots. I think that was the difference from yesterday is we went out cold, and shots were we were getting the shots that we wanted. It just they weren't falling. But tonight they were falling, and we were competing on the defensive end.
Everybody talks about Virginia's defense, but is there one aspect of their team that stands out more to you than that?
Nope, they talk about their defense for a reason. It's what they pride themselves on, and they kind of play their game around their defense. They slow it down, make the offense have long possessions, and they come down and kind of give a long possession themselves on offense. So that's what they're known for, and they're known for that for good reason. They really like to dictate tempo, and they really like to slow things down and really grind you out on the defensive end.
That set up the ACC Tourney Championship game. #1 Virginia against #6 North Carolina Saturday night in the BK. Check it out. UNC taking on #1 seed Virginia in the ACC Tournament final. Virginia comes in with a school record with 31 victories this season. Ty Jerome passes to Devin Hall for the three-pointer. Carolina shows its range on the other end. Luke May answers with a triple of his own. Later in the half, Kyle Guy dishes to Ty Jerome for the jumper. Cavaliers up 5. May answers back again, this time with the pump fake and the three-pointer to keep the game in range. We go to the second half where first-team All-ACC player Kyle Guy would shine brightest. He nails the shot with a crossover step back. Then Guy goes baseline to sink the runner. Kyle Guy would score 11 of his 16 in the second half. Luke May had a game-high 20 points, including 2 right here. But Carolina is forced to foul with time running out. Devin Hall converts both free throws and finishes with 15 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists. Last chance for the Tar Heels. Kenny Williams misses the 3, and the celebration is on for the Virginia Cavaliers, who snap a 7-game losing streak to UNC in the ACC tournament. Kyle Guy is your tournament MVP.
I mean, we still have that same chip on our shoulder we had from day one. Coach talks about all the time. We might be favored in games now, but we got to keep the underdog mentality. Just doing it our way the whole time. You know, never wavering, believing in the system, and doing it our way the whole time.
That's why I came here. Everyone's so close. There's no outcasts on the team, and we all play as one. And I feel like that's our strongest point of our team.
Virginia looks mighty good. Stay tuned for my Final Four coming up in the C list. On the NFL gridiron, the free agency frenzy continues. So many moves. Sadly, the New York Jets, with all that money to spend, haven't been able to cash in. Quarterback Kirk Cousins is heading to Minnesota. Vikings QB Case Keenum is going to Denver, and the Jets will settle for Teddy Bridgewater coming off an injury. Missing out on Cousins isn't a disaster for Gang Green. Actually, they'll be better off in the long run. Sure, he would have been an immediate upgrade, but he's not worth $28 million a year, fully guaranteed, at least not in my opinion. Bridgewater, of course, is plan B. After missing on Kirk, Bridgewater is a good fallback. He's not a franchise QB, but he's part of the short-term solution. Jets GM Mike McCagnon is 0 for 2 drafting quarterbacks with Christian Hackenberg and Bryce Petty. He better get it right in April because his job is riding on it. I still expect Heisman winner Baker Mayfield to land in New York. Mayfield, who met with the Jets at the Senior Bowl, said he'd relish the intense spotlight that comes with playing in New York. The Jets are also bringing back Josh McCown on a 1-year deal. Love the move. The veteran could mentor Mayfield. Then they have those 3 signal callers in camp competing for the starting job. Ditch Hackenberg and Petty at this point. The Giants have released cornerback Dominic Rodgers-Cromartie in a move that will save the team $6.5 million. DRC is still a productive player, but he didn't want to take a pay cut, and Big Blue didn't want to pay him. Speaking of getting paid, Giants center Weston Richburg has signed with the San Francisco 49ers. The G-men also lost out on offensive lineman Andrew Norwell. The guard is signing with Jacksonville. Bronx native Doug Marrone and Giants legend Tom Coughlin, where he will become the highest paid guard in the league. Veteran Jonathan Stewart is set to meet with the Giants, who are seeking a backup running back at an affordable price. Stewart has had a nice career in Carolina, and he is expected to sign in New York. The Green Bay Packers nabbed tight end Jimmy Graham in free agency. He inks a 3-year deal. They are releasing longtime wide receiver Jordy Nelson. Graham has been one of the most prolific tight ends of his era, catching 69 touchdown passes since he entered the league with the New Orleans Saints as a 3rd-round pick in 2010. And speaking of the Saints, Drew Brees will be back under center. The quarterback has signed an extension to stay in New Orleans through age 40. On the baseball diamond, David Wright's shoulder and lower back issues have persisted, and he has been told to refrain from baseball activities for 8 weeks. Yoenis Cespedes was scratched Tuesday after hurting his right wrist on March 6th. Bad news for the Mets. Aaron Judge, the AL Rookie of the Year, will earn $622,300 in the major leagues as part of his 1-year contract with the New York Yankees. Talk about bang for the buck. That was the trend this week for the Bombers. GM Brian Cashman strikes again. The Yankees make official the signing of second baseman Neil Walker to a 1-year major league deal. The Yanks grab Walker for about $5 million. Incredible. While it's a little disappointing that signing Walker pushes back the timetable on Gleyber Torres, it makes total sense for the Yanks for 1 year and low salary. Importantly, the switch-hitting Walker is much better from the left side, so he'll help some production from that side to help balance out all the right-handed power in the lineup for the Yanks. Ronda Rousey doesn't seem poised for a UFC comeback anytime in the near future. The former UFC women's bantamweight champion said Tuesday on The Ellen Show that she would put a return to the octagon on the same plane currently as a return trip to the Olympics. Rousey won the bronze medal, in judo at the 2008 Olympics in Beijing. Rousey is now wrestling for the WWE. One UFC star in, perhaps one WWE star out. Brock Lesnar might be exiting from the WWE. His contract is set to expire after WrestleMania. Rumors are swirling that he is ready to return to the UFC full-time due to WWE not allowing him to fight after his failed PED test in 2016. Not only does this mean Brock may likely lose at WrestleMania, but as the rumors indicate, he's looking for one last UFC run to get big money fights while he can. Brock could walk in and immediately challenge for the heavyweight title, considering Stipe Miocic has pretty much cleared out the division. The former UFC heavyweight champ could also fight the winner of Miocic Cormier after they fight in July at UFC 226. Cormier has made it clear he wants more super fights before he retires next year, and this is as super as it gets. Don't forget the UFC is coming to Brooklyn on April 7th. Ferguson vs. Khabib highlights the action. Go to UFC.com for more. Get your tickets now. Sebastian Bourdais ruled the streets of St. Pete this weekend in IndyCar, but the talk of the race was the aftermath of contact between rookie Robert Wickens and Alexander Rossi in the Firestone Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. Rossi tried to dive up the inside but got loose and collided with Wickens, sending the 28-year-old into a spin and into the wall. In the second-to-last lap, Wickens had won the pole. Kevin Harvick knows how to get around ISM Raceway. In NASCAR, he drove away with his third straight Cup Series victory and record-extending ninth at the Mile Oval southwest of the Phoenix. In the NHL, the league's newest team might end up being the champ when it's all said and done. This year, remarkable. Marc-Andre Fleury has helped surprising Las Vegas by bringing a positive vibe and a contagious amount of confidence to the locker room. His play on the ice hasn't been too shabby either. Fleury made 38 saves to become the 13th goalie in NHL history with 400 career wins. And Ryan Carpenter scored the winning goal with 2:40 left to lead the Golden Knights over the Philadelphia Flyers 3-2 on Monday night. Vegas could be a good bet for the Cup, pun intended. And the same in the NBA. The Houston Rockets are surging even after having their 17-game win streak snapped by another real-deal team in Toronto. Most believe that it will be the Rockets and the defending champion Golden State Warriors in the Western Conference Finals. But according to ESPN, there has been a shift of about who will make it into that series and win it in the NBA Finals. Latest calculations have the Rockets and leading MVP candidate James Harden with the best chance to win the NBA Finals. The Rockets have the best chance at 34.1%, while the Warriors come in second at 32.2%. The Toronto Raptors have the best odds in the Eastern Conference, coming in at 26.2%. Those are the headlines. We hit the C-list for my Final Four. So our BronxNet cameras just had a front row seat for the ACC tournament. With that said, I think the conference with the most teams will be the best represented in the Final Four. I'll take Virginia and North Carolina to advance to the Final Four. I'm also sold on Jalen Brunson and Villanova. The Naismith finalist is the best player in the country right now in my book. He and Nova will be back in the Final Four. And how can you count out Michigan State and head coach Tom Izzo in a year of scandal for the NCAA? I see the Spartans reaching San Antonio. But when it's all said and done, I'll take Virginia and local boy Ty Jerome out of Iona Prep to win it all. They passed the eye test this week. That defense, their cohesion and balance may not be as thrilling as the lineups that teams like Duke and North Carolina send out to the floor. But as the old, perhaps overused adage says, defense wins championships. That's your sports. I'm Bobby C.